Yeah, pleasure to be here. Hello, everybody. Over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about how you can combine climate protection with marketing, mobile technology, and social networks. Get Neutral is a year old. It is a very experienced management team. Together, we have done more than 10 companies before and did some exits, which allows us today to invest into this new exciting startup, Get Neutral. And what we offer is CSR campaign technology and services. And we do that based on the largest product carbon footprint database available in the market. We cannot do it alone. We partner with strong companies like Ray, the largest marketing agency in Germany, with P International, which is well known here, probably the most experienced company in the field of life cycle analysis and product carbon footprint calculations. And TÜV Rheinland is our certification partner. Now, briefly, what we do, we calculate and communicate greenhouse gas effects of consumer products. But we don't do that for one or two products in one project. By the end of the year, we will have calculated about 1 million consumer products and their respective product carbon footprints. So this is what we are looking at. Why do we do that? Now, the European Union decided to bring down carbon emissions by 80%. As some of you probably know, private consumption makes between 30 and 40% of these carbon emissions. And if you want to be successful reducing 80%, you need to tackle these 30 or 40% rather quickly. And there's a lot going on in different countries. Regulation coming up in France on carbon labeling. Carbon labels are common in Japan. There's things going on in Sweden on the West Coast. And it's only a matter of time when we will see the carbon value of a normal packaging in the supermarket like we see the calories or the fat today. And I can tell you what, it's a huge opportunity for consumer goods manufacturers and retailers, and also for any other type of people who are involved in consumer business. Because all of the surveys say that consumers like to buy climate-friendly products. They cannot find them today. And a recent study in UK, and I give you some other data, says that 72% of the UK shoppers would like to see a carbon label on their packaging to help them take the right buying decisions in their daily consumption. We did a survey last year, more than 1,000 people replied, and a very interesting finding also is that more than 80% said they would be willing to pay more for more climate-friendly products if they can understand and believe that these products are more climate-friendly than similar products. There's no surprise that current advertising is not believed by consumers, and they don't just believe that these environmental friendly claims are true. So we can help with this. We help companies to offer climate friendly products, and we help them to reward consumers buying them. And as I mentioned, consumers like this idea, and they're very communicative, and they talk about this in the social networks, and they get common spec on it. We see this every day in our system. Today we have tens of thousands of scans and a lot of comments around that about products, about their carbon footprints. And we realized that those companies who offer more climate-friendly products and talk about it and get into an open dialogue with their consumers, they get a lot of credits in the social networks, and that's third-party credits you cannot buy with advertising money. And we engage this whole process and manage it end-to-end for corporations. That's what it looks like. Is our app. We also have it in the web. It's fully integrated with Facebook. You can do it by SMS, whatever you like. We call it the digital natives usage behavior. So you scan a product of your daily use. You learn how much carbon is included in production and in distribution and usage of this product, and you can neutralize it. That's a way of compensation. We support climate protection projects with the money that these sponsors, these climate sponsors, the big corporations give to us. And it's also a full-blown loyalty system for consumers. It can be used as white label for large corporations who don't want to see another brand besides theirs. And you can collect points. You can get a status. It's a little bit like a mix of Payback and Miles and More, and a little bit of Foursquare maybe. We have fully integrated Facebook mobile capabilities. It's all there. From our system, posts will be sent to Facebook, so everybody learns that I have done something good for the climate. And the sponsor liked this idea because they touch exactly the right target group in their field. We can only do this because we have learned a lot over the last years about the mechanisms, how this credibility prerequisites work. And there are 3 standards in the market. They are all a little bit similar, and we are following these standards. And we have TÜV Rheinland who is looking at us if we do everything right and certifying the whole system of calculation. And that helps us build up this huge database of product carbon footprints. And we can only do that because we have very skilled people who are able to do a fully automated process based on publicly available data that we put into our big calculation machine in the data warehouse, and it turns out to be able to bring you carbon footprints for whole product ranges and whole categories of manufacturers. And the interesting thing for a manufacturer of consumer goods is really the breakdown information. He can immediately see where he is in the benchmark against the market average. And it's also a very affordable service, because if you pay today between 20 and 50,000 euro for one project, getting to know one product carbon footprint, you will pay 10 to 15% of that in the future with us. And well, it finances itself. It's a low carbon product, it's a low energy product, and it's a low cost product. Come to a conclusion. If you get involved into marketing your sustainability activities, that's a plus. You are a leader in this field then. You can differentiate yourself in commodity markets. But if you do that, take away 3 things. Do it very, very simple for everybody to understand. 80% of the people going to supermarkets, they have the complete information overflow. Be very, very simple. Help them understand under 1 second what you do, and be social. Have the people talk about it. Reward the people to get engaged with sustainability in marketing and start moving their buying behavior towards more sustainable products. And also be credible. And credibility cannot come from inside your company. Credibility can only come with subject matter experts, with outside your companies, people who can really give an external view on your activities, and who can also say, okay, this is according to common sense, this is according to what WWF says, this is according to different institutes. Don't make the mistake to make up your own story, and don't talk to the stakeholders to know that. If you like, just make a photo of this QR code. Of course, we are supporting all kinds of codes. You can download the app, you can test it. Go to your fridge tonight and scan your products, and you will be amazed of the difference of carbon you will find in there. Thank you very much. I'm open for questions.
I think you set up this company very well, and I hope that you are very successful, because I think it's very important to involve the mass market in a very simple way. Do you have a question for Holger? One in the back.
So actually 2 questions. I was wondering, how can you possibly calculate a product carbon footprint without knowing the manufacturing process with, you know, of the producer, the logistic process behind it? So it can be only an estimate from my perspective. Yeah. And if that's the case, how do you prevent that any producer is suing you because you're publishing data related to their product which is not approved, or which is arguably an estimate or something like that?
Yeah, thanks for that very valid question. We are basing our calculations on product category models. So let's say of a supply chain, of a life cycle of a product, between 60 and 80% are exactly the same from manufacturer to manufacturer. And the manufacturing processes, take milk, for example, is also very similar from milk producers to milk producer. And you can get a very, very close estimation of what it is. We claim to be 75 to 80% correct in what we say, but we make a security uplift. We give 20% more on the carbon footprint because we just don't know exactly what they are doing in the factory, and we have the possibility to do a quick check with a manufacturer, asking them for 5 to 10 data points, for example, their energy mix or the country of origin for their suppliers, which can make this value a little bit more concrete and specific. And if somebody really wants to have their own values inside because they say, oh, I have done a lot in energy efficiency, I have optimized my supply chain, etc., that's excellent because we like to do those kind of things, and we can integrate our data in the system. And in this case, this manufacturer will probably look better than the average. But you are correct. Product carbon footprint is a system problem. It can never be precise. I give you one little example. If you buy your beer and you drink it in the supermarket, it has another footprint than if you put it in your fridge. And you cannot solve this problem, so it must be unprecise.
Thank you, Holger, very much.
Thank you very much.